A lot of people talk about the fear attached to AI taking over and replacing these jobs and decimating all these businesses. I like to look at it and go, well, how do I amplify where I am right now? How do I leverage the intelligence that I have, amplify it with this technology, and then potentially turn that into a service offering? I'm Josh. I think it's really relevant to what I want to cover today. Guy who's curious about AI, definitely a fan of the technology, not afraid of it, and keen to kind of share what I think about what it's going to be able to do for humanity as a part of a lot of the combos I'm hopefully going to have with anyone paying attention to this. I think today was really inspired by something I've just done recently, which was launch an AI clone of myself. Sounds weird, it is a little bit, but for me it was an epic opportunity to experiment with what this technology is possible to sort of achieve for us at the moment. Now, where this all started, and this is where the sort of journey began probably 3-ish years ago, I was driving across Australia with my dad, and on the journey, I took a little audio recorder and asked him a heap of questions for days, literally days on end. We're driving in a car, and I just kept asking Dad questions about his life, about his opinion, about his perspective on anything around us. Why? I'm doing this because for me, there is going to be a moment in time where obviously he's not going to be here anymore, but the wisdom and the knowledge that he holds disappears with him if we haven't captured it in some way. And so this exercise was driven around trying to build a corpus of information that is my old man. And the intention in the future is for my kids to be able to interact with that, query with that, about whatever they're up to in life. God knows what value might bring them, that might bring them. But really, for me, it's like there's so much knowledge being held in humans and businesses broadly across the world that just evaporates in time. And so we've got this fascinating technology now prevalent in AI, large language models, which really has this capacity to transact in information. Obviously, they're built on a whole bunch of info. The entirety of human knowledge sits in these things, but there is also the opportunity to use the tool to focus on our own knowledge and something that we are able to leverage. And so this is this kind of segue into me building an AI clone. So I've been talking like this, podcasts, writing heaps, Substacks. I talk to myself heaps, love a good voice memo. And all of that was just sort of hovering around. And I thought, well, my job is to sort of talk to people, listen to them, interact with them as a coach, help them grow their business as a consultant. But can I take all the things that I'm doing here and turn it into something of value? And so I used what's called a vector database to pull heaps of this data into, and then I point a large language model of that database to allow it through a really structured set of instructions surface my thoughts. And there's not me surfacing this, right? This is an AI model, a large language model, focused on this data and then surfacing it for other people to query. For me, this started as potentially kind of like a lead gen tool. Right now, you go to my website, pop it up, start typing, and you can interact with a model that's going to respond like me. When I was building it, I sent it to a few mates, and I was like, just text it like you're texting me. And they got responses back and were like, this is crazy. Like, how did you do this? And so now people can interact with this thing like they're talking to me. At the moment it's set up so that people can ask a few questions, and then ideally, they want to talk to the real me, book a call. But the kind of beauty of it is it can expand in so many different ways. And one of the ways that I've kind of done this now is thinking ahead of where we transact. And so for me, something I'm so passionate about is how we scale business, what we're doing to realize revenue, expand our service offering, etc. A lot of people talk about the fear attached to AI taking over and replacing these jobs and decimating all these businesses. I like to look at it and go, well, how do I amplify where I am right now? How do I leverage the intelligence that I have, amplify it with this technology, and then potentially turn that into a service offering? And so the thinking here is we've got human-to-human transactions happening all over the world. That's been happening forever. But we're going to move to human and technology. It's already happening. So somebody can interact with an AI tool or a technology product without a human being involved, transact, interact, gain value, and then move on. So the human to technology piece is established. Where we are going is technology and technology transacting with no human involved. And so for me, a big part of why I'm thinking that this, vector database of your knowledge and your information, a large language model combining to then push that data out is because we're going to have agents transacting on our behalf across the internet and accessing or trying to find information that can now be gated. So we can create a paywall around access to that knowledge. And so one of the key things I've done as a part of this kind of AI clone that I've built is implement what's called the X402 protocol. So this is effectively like a blockchain-driven payment protocol, which has come out as a result of the future being agent-driven transactions. And so alongside a human being able to go and ask questions and get responses from my website, from me, the clone of my mind, you actually also get to go, hey, AI agent, here's a page dedicated to you that can access the same corpus of information, the knowledge base that is Josh. If you'd like to, pay 10 cents per question. And that transaction happens. Hopefully there's value generated out the other side that they can head off and use. And we say head off and use, but they can do a million things. If someone's got like an automated agent that wants to scrape the internet for data relevant to generating a product, building a book as a lead gen tool, all sorts of different things, that's going to put weight and value around the data it interacts with. And so the vision is that in the future, I'll probably throw like a 3 to 5 year time horizon on this. We're going to have all these things happening where agents will be transacting with agents online. And a human will literally just be like, here's my credit card. There's a bunch of people that are already throwing this around and testing this out. I think that just presents a fascinating opportunity for anybody on earth that thinks they have knowledge, value in their knowledge, IP, services in their business. There's so many different things that we can do that this technology can drive in terms of value. It's not taking jobs, stealing people's businesses, destroying the future and the economy and all these sorts of things. It's actually got this potential to like amplify everything massively. So I guess the key for me in kind of starting my rants on YouTube beyond what I'm currently doing on Substack and sharing on LinkedIn and all this sort of stuff, I think is just a longer form way to be able to start sharing some of the things that I'm seeing around me from all the different interactions that I have with business owners, with individuals, with friends, with randoms, because I'm curious. I want to hold that curiosity forever. I want to use it to drive every day of my life. Learn, explore, engage in different ways, try to ultimately build a better world, right? Like it's what most of us are here for. And I actually think this technology foundationally has a really, really awesome part to play in exactly that. So if you're thinking about it, test it out. Jump on Claude, jump on Codex, wherever you're playing with AI, ask the questions around how to build your own knowledge base. Reach out if that's something of interest. I think from a business perspective, we're going to be there in, 3 years probably. Most organizations are going to have to try to gatekeep their value and allow others to transact on it. But you can do it right now. If you're willing to play and test, do so. And stay curious, and I think the curiosity piece is what fueled my interaction with my old man, right? Well, I thought ahead. I was like, where the hell are we going with all this stuff? I'm just going to talk to him, get him to record his life, see what we can do with that. The data just sits somewhere until we're going to use it. And I think for me, the kind of key thing I'm probably going to throw at anybody is go and have a look at what a vector database is, learn about that. Go jump on Substack, follow me. But I think that's actually also going to be one of the leading platforms of thinking and thought moving forward. And if you aren't already in there, do so. And I'd probably throw out that kind of curiosity piece for me, which is just start asking questions of how is this technology going to be valuable to you as an individual, to your family, to a business you participate in, to a business you run. Explore what impact it will have on your life beyond just being someone who consumes stuff that it creates. Use it as a phenomenal tool to fuel your creativity. Hopefully you hang around the next few videos and see you soon.